But tonight I want to make a personal note before we start the meeting. Folks, I just want you to understand that Jim Sturgis will not be intimidated by asking anyone questions. Let me repeat that again. I will not be intimidated by anyone because I ask you questions. I've been doing it for as long as I've been on this board, and Jim Sturgis will continue until he leaves this board. My constituents voted me to do it, and as a politician, I have to do as my constituents want me to do. So I hope we have an understanding. So with that, Ms. Johnson, would you please come up and give us a prayer?
It's an honor to pray today. If you'll bow your heads. Heavenly Father, thank you for this opportunity to pray. I align my faith with those that are in this community and those that are in this room that are praying for our success of the children that are here in the Vicksburg Warren School District. Lord, I ask you to release power, unity, vision, momentum, kindness, respect, grace, and stability in our district. Lord, I'm praying even right now, by your might and by your power, that we would see your hand upon this district. Lord, I pray that you release angels as this school year begins in just a few weeks to encamp round about our schools, ensuring learning, ensuring victory, ensuring protection of our staff, our children, the faculty. Lord, I'm praying that godly wisdom accompanies every single issue, every single concern, every single problem is solved in God's resolution. Lord, I'm praying that those that you put in power have a renewed sense of value, purpose, driven to help this community. God, I ask a blessing on this meeting, Lord God, and the things that would be discussed would be in the way that you would have them to be discussed. Your hand be upon us, Lord God, as we protect, preserve, and persevere to save our future, which is our children. And I ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Praise the Lord.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. This time we're at item C. Is there a motion to
I make a motion that we accept the agenda as presented with the addition of an item K4, U.S. Government 16th Section lease.
There's a motion with an addition. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are you ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion is approved. Ms. Dotson.
Okay,
Madam
I would like to make a
Secretary.
motion to approve the board minutes from June 27, 2024, regular scheduled board meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions? Are you ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion is approved. Mr. Superintendent.
Be very brief. We had our administrative retreat this week, very successful retreat. We found out during that time that a majority of our students are not going through registration as required by the Mississippi Department of Education. So we will be putting out a campaign to get our students to register as they are supposed to. Also, we have all of our open houses scheduled for the year. We are still working on our HVAC issues. And after attending Mass, I was in Washington, D.C. As a member of the National Superintendent Governing Board representing Mississippi. And I would like to thank Mr. Benny Thompson and his office manager, Ms. Pamela Rags, for inviting me in and allowing me some time with Mr. Thompson. He was very cordial and talked about how he believes in and supports education, so I appreciate him. Also, I'd like to acknowledge Dr. James, if he's here. Dr. Terrence James in January will assume Chair of the Board of Directors for the Chamber of Commerce. And I would also like to recognize Coach Lewis, who was appointed to the Mississippi Association of Coaches Board of Directors for District 6 for all of the state of Mississippi. So we have a lot of great things going on despite other things, and proud of our district and proud of our teachers and staff and everybody who does what they're supposed to do. That's all I have.
Wow, that was quick.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh, the resolution now,
Yes,
sir?
Yes, sir.
We have a resolution here. It's read, it says, "The Board of Trustees of the Vicksburg Warren School District to honor and memorialize a longtime teacher and contributor to the children of Warren County does hereby agree to adopt the following resolution. Whereas Mr. Nolan L. Smith departed this life on June 26, 2024, after devoting many years of service to his country and his community. Whereas Mr. Smith was born in Vicksburg on January the 22nd, 1961, to the late Miss Sarah Smith and the late Mr. Brutus Nolan Jackson. Nolan loved his service and he needs to support his family. He helped make the decisions to join the United States Marine Corps in 1979. During his time, he received a Combat Action Ribbon, Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal with 4 gold stars, a Southwest Asia Medal holding 2 bronze stars, 2 Kuwait Liberation Medals from Saudi Arabia and Kuwait, just to name a few. After retiring from the military, Nolan Smith returned to Vicksburg, where he mentored youth with disabilities, taught junior ROTC, and coached the swim team at Warren Central High School. He was dedicated to the countless programs and social committees. Whereas Mr. Smith was preceded in death by his parents, his 2 brothers, and 2 sisters. He's survived by his wife, Ms. Smith, his children Ashley, Trent, Nolan, and Amber, and 1 child he raised as his own, Andre, a brother, sister, 2 sister-in-laws, grandchildren, and a host of nieces, nephews, cousins, and friends. Now therefore be it resolved that the Vicksburg Warren School District hereby honors the life and work of Mr. Nolan L. Smith and recognize the valuable contributions he made to the well-being of his students and his community. Do we have someone here for Mr. Smith? Do we have a picture taker here by chance? Oh, does anybody else want to come join? Come on, Jones.
On behalf of the Smith family, we will present this. I am a member of the American Legion, and we will present this to the family. We thank you so much for your acknowledgement of Nolan. He will be missed. Thank you all.
Thank you. At this time, we are the bond update, F. I'm
I
sorry.
need a motion to adopt the resolution.
Thank you. Is there a motion to adopt
We adopt the resolution.
Moved and properly second. Are there any questions? Are you ready to vote? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion is approved. F, with the bond project updates. Do we have any, sir?
No, sir.
Okay. I don't think we need to, we can use that as, okay. We're here to G with the finance. Ms. Hughes.
Good evening. So I present to you tonight the monthly board financial update for June 30th, 2024. Of course, I need to note that June 30th financials are not completely closed, as we are in the process of doing year-end closeout. So there are still some pending encumbrances that need to be cleared up, that we are working to clear up. And so these numbers will change. So I will start with our year-to-date revenue. Of course, we'll capture that on another slide. Our revenue for Fund 1120 for June 2024, $3,370,439. Dr. McGee, I'm moving. Our expenditures for Fund 1120 for June for FY24, $5,210,229. Our revenue versus expenditures for June 2024, of course, we were about 1.9 million over in expenditures, as we have 5.2 million in expenses and 3.3 million in revenue. And then our fund balance for June 2024, currently we stand at about 25 million as compared to last year. We're up from 21 million. We had a great year this year in trying to, on the onset, we were looking to have, we had more expenditures budgeted than we did revenue. However, we were able to curtail some of those expenditures by appointing directors and principals to utilize their ESSER and their title funding. And currently we stand at about 85%. Well, about 5 schools are not at 85% of utilizing all of their title FY24 funds. So 11 schools reached that 85% mark. Many of them have spent all of their ESSER funding. So by those individuals helping us this year, by utilizing those funds, we were able to curtail some of the expenses that we had budgeted for the district. It was.
And Ms. Hughes is being modest. We walked into a deficit budget, and for us to be adding this amount of money to the fund balance is attributed to her and her hard work. We've got more money in fund balance than we've had by about $983,000. We have 26% in fund balance. The law used to say you had to have 7%. typically want to run about 15%. And we have 25.8% in fund balance, which is awesome. Now, next year, will we go through a typical budget cycle where we dip into our fund balance a little bit, like the other 137 school districts in the state? We probably will. But when collections come in, we will be healthy again. We are not budgeting more than we budgeted this year, and we're going to be just as frugal. And Ms. Hughes, you've done an outstanding job, and I appreciate all of your hard work and the time that you're up here when I'm at home and everybody else is at home. And I don't think we can thank you enough for your hard work, and I appreciate what you do. And this goes back to our kids, which is why we're here every day anyway. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, you got to applaud the principals. I got a little kickback at first, but they soon got on board and they started doing what I asked. So you have to give them a round of applause as well.
Yes.
So one question, have we traditionally spent our all of our title money?
The goal is to spend it. When I first came, we had project years 20, 21, 22, 23. So now we're down to just 24. We spent the remainder of 23 in this school year, and we just have a small amount left on 24. So next year, we should be moving from year to year with that title funding.
And I don't think we've ever, you get an excessive carryover letter. If you do, you're limited on how much you can carry over. So I think we've done a good job in the district prior to that.
Right.
So,
And then, of course, school improvement runs a year behind. So if you hear us say something about school improvement, the allocation for it, even though we're going into 25, they are just getting the allocation for fiscal year 24. So it runs 1 year behind. But all the titles are closed out. All of the IDEA funds are closed out with the exception of a small amount in 23 and then a little in 24. All right, so that brings us to the accounts payable docket.
Oh, Ms. Hughes, I'm sorry. I guess that this may piggyback on, before we get to that, I have a question on that too. The audit reports that we what's the status on them?
So we talked with the auditor maybe 2 weeks ago. They are finalizing the financials and they are doing the journal entries for Sabitas, which is subscription-based IT technology agreements. So that is the last step in the process, which is a requirement that was implemented with GASB 96. That process should have been started before fiscal year 23 ended. We are just in that process to get that done, and now they're in the final stages of doing or compiling the journal entries for those subscriptions.
So will they be done by September?
Yes.
Or whatever?
Yes.
So will we be up to date then?
Yes, sir. And the current auditor has already started sending information over to me. So we actually started answering questions from that auditor, maybe the first part of July. We received the information from Shad White saying that they have filed all the necessary documents from them. And as soon as they got that letter, they started sending questions out to me, and I have started to reply to those questions.
and I think we have to have that one done by March
30th.
to make sure we stay on time.
Right.
24.
Ye-
25.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes,
25,
yes,
25,
yes,
I'm
yes.
sorry.
The audit of the FY 24 books have to be done by March of 2025. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yes,
Okay,
sir.
thank you, thank you.
So
Thank
we're
you.
ahead of the game.
Yes.
And
That's great to hear.
Yes.
On the accounts payable docket, I think is what you mentioned, Ms. Hughes?
Yes, sir.
We gotta approve the first.
Got it.
Financial.
Oh,
Make a motion, we accept financial report presented by Ms. Hughes.
moved and properly second. Are there any other questions? Are you ready to vote? All in favor say aye. Aye. Pose like sign. Motion is approved. Accounts payable dockets. Only thing, if you will go to, I have a page 1 on mine. I don't know what y'all have on the computer. I'm old fashioned, but it's gonna be, this is a real simple question. On the insurance, that 1.9, is that for all the schools? Or is that general liability and all
Yes.
the other? So that's for everything that we own?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have any other questions for the accounts payable claims docket? Is there a motion?
Make a motion, we accept accounts payable claims docket as presented.
It's been moved.
Second.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are you ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion is approved.
The next item on the agenda is approval to transfer the checking account interest from accounts payable clearing and from payroll clearing for fiscal year '24. The interest for both accounts total $43,557.56.
Ms. Hughes,
Yes.
may I ask, to what account are you transferring it to? I'm not going, I would love for you to put it in mine, but since you don't have anything here, but I'm not going to jail for $43,000.
District maintenance.
Okay, that needs to be included on this then, please, because it's just, here it's just a blanket. You want to transfer it, you don't say where you want to transfer it. So would that be 1120?
Yes.
Okay, so make a note of that,
I'll make it
please,
in our
and to
motion.
transfer it to, okay, you make it in your motion,
Yeah.
thank you.
Any other, all right, I make a motion, we approve the transfer of checking account interest from accounts payable and the payroll clearing of approximately $43,000 to be transferred into district maintenance account 1120.
It's been moved and properly second that we transfer $43,557.56 to account 1120. Are there any other questions? Are you ready to vote? All in favor say aye. Aye. Pose like sign. Motion is approved. We are now down to the general consent. Do we have any items to be pulled?
I think we have, you may read off the ones we got.
Okay.
We got H2, H3, H5, H10, and 22. And can we also pull H20?
H20. H20, okay.
Yeah, so H20 and 22, H10, H2, 3, 5.
I need 4, 6, 11, and 12 full too.
4,
6, 11, 12.
6,
4, 6, 11,
11, and 12. Okay. You ready for me to make a motion?
Please.
Make a motion that we accept what's left of the consent agenda with the exclusions of H2, H3, H4, H5, H6, H10, H11, H12, H20, and H22.
It's been moved and properly second. Are you ready to vote? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Motion is approved. Mr. Pratt, since you pulled them all, you get to,
Oh, no, you get first. I pulled it for you, baby.
okay. On H2, I merely want to make sure that, I'm not asking about what we're doing. I understand that. But I just want to make sure that my constituents understand how this is written. And sometimes we can write it where even I can't understand it. It says here, we recommend awarding the project to Sullivan Enterprise for the base bid amount. My question is, what is the base bid amount? And then we say 3 alternates for a total of 1.2 whatever. So the question is, I want to make sure that my constituents understand, we're giving it to one person, I'm going to assume. And then under that one person, there are 3 other folks.
No.
Okay, so please.
There are 3 parts of the project that we did as bid alternates in case the project came in high. So the project came in lower than what we thought. Now we can do these 3 bid alternates. That's on the bid tab sheet that you have there, and they're broken out individually. For instance, with the VHS locker room, there was a bid alternate to replace all exterior windows, replace the roof in its entirety, digitally print graphics on the walls in the boys and girls locker room, and those were the 3 bid alternates. Because the bid came in so low, we added in the 3 alternates, and we're still under budget.
And so the total amount is the 1.2?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I
That
just want
includes all
to
of it.
make sure my people
Yes.
understand.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do we have any other questions?
Let me ask one other.
Yes,
thing,
sir.
Mr. President. I see in the explanation that somebody didn't submit a complete bid package, and I'm not sure which one that's on. Is
That was, hold on, I can tell you, it was CLR, and we could not check any references. They had not completed any large projects, so they did not complete the full package as well.
Okay.
That's why we did the bid exception on them.
Okay, I just want to make sure that it's in the minutes, that the explanation, the motion is that on that one, it's because they didn't submit the necessary documents, but that's reflected in the minutes too.
This will be included into your
Yeah,
motion.
I had a letter that was supposed to be attached, but, okay. Yes, sir, thank you.
Is there a motion to approve H2?
Make a motion, we approve H2,
With the addition,
well, which one is it for?
It is for the VW, the auditorium refresh bid.
For the auditorium
Yes.
refreshment that
They did not submit a complete bid package.
they did not submit a complete bid package for CLR construction.
it's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions? Are you ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion is approved. Is Ms. Hill present?
I think, is that?
Is she on?
I think, 4, 5, and 6. were the
Oh,
same
that's,
thing.
oh, that's right. Go
None of
ahead.
None of those had the addendum attached to those, and so, if y'all want to take them up in block, you could just make a motion to approve 4, 5, and 6,
Well, this is,
subject to. the
this is
addendum
3.
attached.
Are we on 3?
We on 4. We don't
Did we
have
do 3?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, we on 4.
I didn't.
Yeah, you're correct. 4, 5, and
No,
6.
we pulled 3.
Who-
You told me 3.
Did I tell you? Okay, scratch that. Make a
All right,
motion.
make a motion, we approve H3.
Second.
Oh, I sure did. I apologize. I made the mistake. So it's been moved and properly second. Are you ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion is approved. I apologize. I made that
All right,
mistake.
now 4. You said 4, 5, and 6. You need the
I'm
addendum.
just missing the addendum. So-
All right, I make a motion, we approve H4, 5, and 6 with the stipulation they must have the appropriate district addendum added.
Been moved and properly second. Are there any questions? Are you ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion is approved. H10, correct? H10. I guess, Mr. Attorney, I really need to ask you about and I think it wasn't an addendum, I don't know whether we needed one on this one or not. This is with a law firm, I'm sure it's just a partnership agreement, so we don't need anything on it.
I think we have 2 or 3 of those on the agenda.
Same.
And it's just, yeah, they're just, as I appreciate it, they're just offering their services as essentially volunteers or partners with the district to sponsor events, et cetera. Is that, I think that's.
Yeah, that's it, yes, sir.
Okay, so they don't need the addendum.
So we good? Okay, good.
Make a motion, we approve H10.
Second.
Moved and properly second. Are there any other questions? Are you ready to vote? All in favor say aye. All opposed? Motion is approved. We have 14, right?
H11.
Did I miss something? Where are we?
11 and 12.
11.
I had 11 and 12 as well. Briggs had 11 and 12.
Oh, okay, Briggs has 11 and 12.
11, I was just trying to, I think I mentioned this.
Yeah, that's-
Are they providing, they're not
No, no, sir.
providing service that would require the addendum? Okay, then y'all can approve that.
11 or both, 12 too.
12 is different. We need-
Okay, I make a motion, we approve H11.
Moved and properly second. Are you ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion is approved. You at 12?
Briggs pulled more than you did.
Actually, really 12. The issue we've got there is it's an agreement with Mississippi State. They've got an addendum to theirs that we can't agree to since we're both public entities. So we need to, if you want to approve it subject to legal review, that's fine. Because I'm gonna have to get with their attorney, I guess, and go over that they, they'll know, once I talk to them, they'll know they can't do that same agreement.
Make a motion, we approve H12 with the stipulation of attorney's approval or review.
Been moved and proper second. Are you ready to vote? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion is approved.
Hey, this next one's mine.
Okay.
H20, clear bag policy. We approve a lot of things on consent, but I think this is I agree with the policy, I have no problem with it.
Yes,
But I think since it's such a departure or a new policy we're putting in place, could we take a moment and explain to the public the policy and talk about how we're going to communicate this? Because I don't want to be at the first football game or the first whatever and have the public upset with us. So we hope also the public that's listening and the paper that's here, that we make sure that we do every effort we can to communicate this out so there's no misconception.
Absolutely. So, good evening.
Good evening.
As part of my job, it's important for me to have strategic foresight for our department. And so in comparison to other school districts that have implemented this policy, in comparison to the nature of the things that have been going on in our city and also some of our businesses and what the things they've been doing in Vicksburg, I feel it's important for us to move this policy forward. I've already talked to our local media outlets, Vicksburg Daily News, Vicksburg Post, of course, our communication department. We have an exhaustive plan ready to unleash to the public and let them know what we're doing. We're going to have graphics out, if approved, so everybody will know what we're going to expect moving forward.
Can you explain it real quick? So what are you now requiring?
So if approved, we will require all people that's coming to our athletic events to have a clear bag. Now, all those dimensions will be discussed and pushed out, but clear bags, they can't have an illegal bag inside the clear bag. It'll have to be visible to our security guards and our checkpoints before they get into our athletic events. It will be checked. It will be checked at that point until they enter to those gates for basketball, football, all of our sporting events.
So if I have a diaper bag, it has to be clear?
So no, so we do have exceptions to medical bags, things of that nature, diaper bags, and it's actually on that sample I put. I submitted a sample for you guys to kind of look at. So
I
it'll be
just want
similar
you
to
to
that.
explain that, because it's not every bag, there are.
That's correct. There are exceptions to the
And if
rule.
this flyer is what you're putting out, it explains it quite
Yes, sir.
clear.
Yes, but like I said, I've talked to all of our media outlets, and they have a partner with us to push everything out. So it won't be a last minute thing. Everybody will have clear and concise
So
descriptions.
if
of
Jim
what
shows up with a purse, depending on the side of it,
Correct.
That's a possibility.
is if he's gonna be able to get in. If it's a large purse, he won't
Depends
be
on-
able to
right.
get in.
Right.
Would they be allowed to search it and let him in or not? If it's a large purse, you're not allowed to have a large purse right in, or what's the procedure?
So our security will be, so our policy will state that all of our bags are subject to be searched. If not, you will have to either take it back to the car or not be able to allow it to the event. That will be pushed out through our media outlets.
So if I show up with a large bag, are you gonna allow me to come in if I allow you to search it or not?
If you're saying if you refuse to get searched,
No, I'm just saying, so I have a large bag that's not clear, and I show a big purse.
it can't come
I've
in.
seen some of the ladies have some really large purses.
Right. It will not be allowed.
It would not be allowed?
No, sir.
Okay,
It will not, period.
okay. And I noticed on your, I would just hope that everyone would take clear notice on the policy that you're submitting. It has clear sizes
It does.
for the exceptions, because there are exceptions.
Yes.
Okay. I just thought it was important to talk about this, because,
Yes, sir.
I don't, Friday night at 7 o'clock when the game started, I don't want my phone ringing off the hook.
No.
We want to make sure the public understands that this is for the safety and the betterment of our children.
Absolutely.
And I'm also aware that other districts
Absolutely.
are doing
So this
this.
was not just something that we just thought of last minute. I've been talking to local ADs, principals, superintendents about how they unveiled it, how they kind of came with their plan. I actually had a coaches association meeting last week, met with other ADs, and so we've been partnering with this thing for quite some time before we unveiled it. Yeah.
Great idea, I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Okay, I make a motion that, and unless anyone else had any questions, I make a motion that we approve the new athletic clear bag policy H20.
Been moved and properly second. Are there any questions? Are you ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion is approved. Mr. Lewis, I just say that most of the Jackson schools, as you had mentioned, are already doing it. I guess your biggest challenge, your biggest and only challenge is going to be the red carpet bowl, because I mean, it's going to get out in time, let me say that, and you're going to do everything you supposed to do, but still, we're going to have a big challenge that one game, because after that, everybody will know that we're clear bag.
I would hope that any advertisement for the Red Carpet Bowl would put this note at the bottom, please be aware of a new policy, clear bag policy, just so there's no question. Print it on the bottom of the ticket if you can, I don't know what they can do, but
Yeah.
anything.
But
Our
it's great.
phone's gonna ring. Just-
We'll be ready.
Okay, good, thank you.
And you say your telephone number is what now?
Yes.
Okay, where are we?
We're on 22.
22.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think that's you, Mr. Superintendent.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
just a couple of questions on that, sir. On the overall rating, and Brian will appreciate this, like, let's say that you have the 1, 2, 3. Does it include the raises and let's say if I get I don't know is it a 10, is the max? I'm just gonna throw out a number.
Yeah, yes, sir.
And then I get a 3. How does that affect, you'll come in and tell me I need to do so and so, so and so?
Yes, sir.
And who will be administering the evaluations for the administrators?
Good question. We do the administrators. We don't have anything currently to evaluate our directors at all. We haven't been evaluating our directors. Mr. Green and Dr. McGee have not been evaluated, but now we will use this. I will evaluate them. They will evaluate the directors that report to them, and everybody in the district, just like you all evaluate me. Now, everybody in the district will have a job performance evaluation that's documented, that's put in their file, just like you all hold me accountable. That's what this is, because currently we don't have anything. And you all, by policy, you have to you have to approve what we use to evaluate, with the exception of principals and teachers, because that comes from MDE.
So when you finally split the duties, would you please give us a copy of what Dr. McGee, who he is evaluating, and who Mr. Green is evaluating, please?
That'll be on the agenda for next month. We already did for approval. Yes, sir.
Great. Okay. Do we have any other questions? Is there a motion?
Make a motion, we approve H22.
Moved and proper second. Are there any questions? Are you ready to vote? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion is approved. We are now down to communication.
Jay, aren't we?
Out of state travel. Did I miss anything? I have a, see right here.
No, we're on J.
Oh, they're still under consent?
Yes, sir. It wasn't.
Okay, so we're under J now, okay. That was I, okay. J1, personnel recommendations. You all got a new list in front of you that you may not have updated on your computer. You probably do, but if not, there's a new list that was given to you.
No, sir.
Oh, okay, that's the same list?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I just got the list.
Can we introduce a new administrator to you all?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Allen, you want to come up and introduce our new administrator that's being recommended? Sorry about that.
Good evening. I would like to introduce the new assistant principal at Vicksburg High School, Mr. Kelvin Neal. He's coming to us from JPS.
Is there a motion to approve?
I make a motion, we approve J1.
Is there a second? Moving properly. Second, are you ready to vote? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Motion is approved. Since you've been approved, which school at JPS? We can't turn the tides now. You're in good shape.
I was at McLeod Elementary.
McLeod, yes, sir. We appreciate you being on board.
Thank you.
J2, release from the contract. I didn't know that in. See, I stopped at 8. Oh.
All right, unless there's any discussion.
Do we have any discussion?
I make a,
No, we don't have.
Who they? Y'all got it there, who you releasing? Oh, I don't have on mine, I'm sorry.
this is, okay, Kimberly, I mean, we can just approve it? It's just one person, right?
Just one person.
No,
You
no,
okay,
sir.
Bruce?
I didn't have a name.
Do we need to
or
mention the
anything on
name in the motion, or we can just?
mine. Yeah, you can mention the name.
Okay.
Just, I can't discuss any reasons, but you can mention
Yeah,
the name.
I would just say
If it's not-
I make a motion that we approve releasing contract, is it Kimberly Sales? Sales?
Oh,
It's two, and,
we got one other person.
Oh, there's one more?
It's three.
And what was the second one?
Melissa Stewart
And Melissa Stewart.
and Janitra Moore. It's three.
I didn't see
I
the
have
third.
three.
All right, and Ms. Moore.
So it was 3 of them?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it's been moved and properly second for the release of the teachers. Are you ready to vote? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Motion is approved. Okay, now we're on to J3. Since nobody else has any comments, I guess the bad boy will do his thing. First of all, let me say this up front, and let's get this straight so everybody understands it. I'm gonna say it twice. I want everybody to have a raise. Let me say it again, Mr. Lewis. I want everybody to have a raise. But here's my concern. And I guess, and I asked Dr. McGee to try to find it in the minutes where I assumed that we had voted to freeze the budget. Unfortunately, he printed out a couple of months, and if anybody remembers on the board, please, let me know if we did or we didn't, or whether I'm just dreaming this. And I appreciate what Dr. McGee did, and he skimmed through it, I skimmed through it, I didn't see it, but I still think we did. So if it's not in black and white, as my wife say, it's not the law. So I know we talked about it, and I'm gonna be very brief because Brian asked me to be tonight, and sir, I will heed to your message. Again, I want everybody to have a raise. I don't want anybody to go and they're gonna look at me and say, Jim Sturgis don't want me to have no raise. No, that is not the point. Early on, we had talked about a deficit that we had incurred, and then Dr. Holloway was gracious enough to tell us that the deficit had been erased. I'm gonna call it the Jim Sturgis rule. We approve things and come back the next month. We decline things and then we come back the next month and approve it. I feel like this is one of the things that we did. Now, you're saying, okay, what if we don't get a raise now? Well, we only freezed it for a year, I thought. Okay? So, what all am I saying is this, is that, Brian, do you remember anything?
What I remember was that due to the previous funding formula from the state, and our decreased enrollment, we were concerned about the money that we would have on hand to be able to fund the district. And the superintendent had asked permission to have the authority, in the case that we were going to be short, to be able to take whatever action was needed. I don't know, related to reductions in force or whatever. I do not know that I don't recall us demanding or approving or,
Okay.
but I believe it was discussed
Okay.
that would probably be one of the things that would, methods of when we weren't able, if we had to cut costs, that we would, it would probably be expected that we would not have a step increase.
Okay, and the only reason I said is when we did the RIF, I thought we had done it then.
Yeah.
Coach, do you have anything different?
Not different from that, but I remember we were worried about, not meeting our expectations, and the superintendent at that point was asking that if we don't, we plan to do that, but now with it being solid, as the superintendent said, everything, we never voted on it, we never voted on it.
Jim, can I ask a question?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So talk to us, Mr. Superintendent. So explain again, these are administrators, these are our principals,
Assistant principals.
principals.
And directors.
And directors. And currently and so everyone is on a step increase based on the number of years?
Yes, sir.
You come in and you're a 5-year, you jump in at the 5-year level, and then every year you get a step increase unless the board decides you don't. Or we change the scale. So what is the estimated cost of giving this increase?
$44,312.
Across
We
the-
have, yes, sir. We have some directors, like the federal programs director, that doesn't affect us because it comes out of federal programs. We have our SPED director, that's paid out of SPED. Child nutrition's paid out of child, so that doesn't impact the budget. So it's $44,312.
Is the bottom line,
Yes, sir.
bottom line, $44,000.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Dodson, I'm not gonna leave you out. This may have been before your time.
It was.
I will, okay. So but I still had to ask. I don't do like some of our parties. We include women. Okay. So with that, I have nothing else to say. Does anybody want to approve this?
I make a motion, we approve J3.
It's been moved and properly second. Are you ready to vote? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Mr. Lewis will give us $44,000. Done. What else do we have left, sir? Oh, 16
16
sections.
sections.
Okay. There's some 16 section?
Yeah, the discussion items, okay.
What we missed?
That J, didn't we add it to J4, the government lease?
Government
That's on
lease.
K, it's K though.
K,
That's in K.
Okay.
Okay, I'm
So
sorry.
we're on K, so we
Yeah, we're
got,
on K. It's K4.
K4, got you, okay, all right.
Yes, Ms. Hughes.
So are we gonna do the Army Corps of
It's K4.
Engineers?
It's K4.
It's K4?
It's the-
Okay.
it's-
All right, so 16 section land updates. We do have one lease agreement that was reassessed that will require the rental rate for each year to go up by $17 for Miss Elizabeth Infinger, and the rest is for your information. So we will need to take action on the lease agreement changing.
okay,
Okay.
no action required on
Just information only?
We have a reassessment
Yeah,
on Missy
so we need to-
Infinger. Yes.
Okay, so there's a motion. We need a motion.
I'm looking here and trying to figure out
For
what.
increase.
Elizabeth Infinger, she had a tax
Okay, I make a
reassessment.
motion that we approve this is for a lease renewal.
Right, and for a tax assessment, it went up from 634 to 651 based on the tax assessors.
Make a motion, we approve the lease renewal with the new lease amount based on the change in appraisal.
Moving to proper second. Are there any other questions? Are you ready to vote? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion is approved.
The next item on the agenda is the Mississippi Forestry Commission's annual report, and they have also included the annual request for services form in this same document.
Y'all have to,
Is that information only?
You have to approve
We
it.
have to
yeah,
approve.
yeah, that's them managing it again.
Oh, and how much they cost? I didn't read it.
And let me ask you, and I don't know how y'all have done it in the past, typically someone from there comes and gives you all the report in person.
Yeah.
So if y'all have questions, and I don't know, we can tell them that if y'all want us to.
Yes, sir, we've had that done in the
Okay,
past.
okay.
So, yeah, that would be a great deal every now and then to have them come.
Well, and you want to approve this, or you want to wait to approve it to once they come and give?
We start a new fiscal year, so we probably need to go ahead and approve it, but we can have them next month come and give a full report.
Okay. I make a motion that we approve the Forestry Commission's annual report and the recommendation for the cost of their fees, with the understanding that they will come and do a formal presentation at the earliest convenience.
Moved and properly second. Are there any questions? Are you ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion is approved. Thank you. Dr. McGee, is that you or Mr. Green?
Mr. Green.
Mr. Green?
Information only, Mr. Sturgis, there's no action needed this month.
Thank you, sir.
And now we're
Mr. Attorney, or do we need you, or?
Yeah, K4,
Yes, sir.
hot off the presses, y'all should have a copy of it, is the proposed government lease for the site out at the Big Black River. And you'll note that the rental amount went up from $3,750 to $6,825. That's based on the tax assessor certificate. It is a 10-year lease, and of course, this is the different, we talked about this before, it's a different lease than the rest of our leases because it's coming from the federal government. But I've looked over it with their attorney, and so as to move this along, I'd like to get y'all, if y'all are satisfied, to approve it, and I can let him know that y'all are satisfied with it.
So there's no more review, you're done?
He and I have been over the review. We've made the changes, all it was, a few technical changes that needed to be corrected, that he sent this to me yesterday, I guess, and I went over it, made a couple of technical corrections. He sent it back to me just a few hours ago, and this is it. I've looked at it, it's fine with me.
All right, I make a motion that we approve the U.S. government 16-section lease. What section's it for?
Give it to you. 16.
It's the Big Black test site.
16-15-5.
16-15-5.
South half of lot 4 and lot 5.
It would take 91 acres, more or less. Yes.
How many federal land do we have on lease?
Coach, I think this is the only one. There may be an easement or two. I'm trying to remember, I've got my other school districts got some, I think a conservation easement or two. I don't think we have any here in Warren County that are.
Thank you.
That's all you have, sir? I think I had a motion.
I'll make a motion. I had a motion to approve it.
There's a second. Been moved and properly second. Are there any other questions? Are you ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion is approved.
I make a motion, we go into closed session to determine the agenda for executive session.
Done. Thank you all.
Mr. Hill.